Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I read you those cryptocurrency articles so you can stay informed, up to date on what's going on in the crypto and Bitcoin space. And for those of you new, please like and subscribe wherever you're watching, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Rumble. Just share that love. Now let's go over the news today. What is going on? Is Ohio going to be our next state reserve to pass a bill and law to do that? We have Arizona passing another bill, or it's heading to Katie Hobbs again. That state's already had one. I'm more curious about Ohio because that'll put us in the fourth state to have it, I believe. And then we have some other news articles, how banking giant, Barclays is blocking all crypto purchases out there for card users. So if you bank with Barclays in the UK, you won't be able to use your card to buy Bitcoin anymore, but there might be a loophole around it. And then we have some other small news articles out there, like Ledger's deal with the NBA, Chainlink and MasterCard, so tons of news to cover. But let's just dive right on into it. So we're going to start off with Bitcoin in the Buckeye State. Ohio eyes its own crypto reserve. So Ohio Representative Steve Demetrio, a Bitcoin advocate, said lawmakers should follow the lead of nearly 2 million Ohioans who own digital assets. Now, after the Ohio House passes Bill 116 last week, exempting crypto owners from minor tax burdens, Representative Steve Demetrio said that the next step is to establish a state reserve. So first up, let's take away some crypto taxation burdens out there, and then we can go into the reserve. Now, another bill is House Bill 18, known as the Ohio Strategic Cryptocurrency Reserve Act. This would permit the state treasurer to invest up to 10% of certain public funds into high capitalization cryptocurrencies. Now, I introduced House Bill 18, which still is in committee, Demetrio told Decrypt in an interview, and that's the next step in my mind and many advocates' minds out there for advancing digital asset legislation. Now, introduced in February, HB 18, like HB 116, does not reference Bitcoin specifically. However, a stipulation in the bill specifies that the Treasury may only invest in digital assets that are an exchange-traded product and have an average market cap of at least $750 billion. So that's a little bit more than the other states with their reserves. Like their digital asset investments reserve requires at least a coin to have a $500 billion market cap, which was still only Bitcoin. So this one's adding an extra $250 billion on top of that in order to meet its qualifications. But the only eligible asset still is Bitcoin for this, so they'll make it happen. Now, Demetrio is optimistic about Bitcoin's future in Ohio, but acknowledged that the greater advocacy and public education are still needed. It's still hard to predict how things will go as time passes and the bill moves forward, but I'm not giving up, he said. I'll keep reintroducing it if needed, as long as I'm in the legislature. Now, making its way to the committee in Ohio Senate, the Blockchain Basics Act, HB 116, aims to formalize regulations around blockchain and digital assets in Ohio. Now, law, while easing regular burdens on cryptocurrency miners and users for Demetrio and the other advocates, its foundational step toward positioning Ohio as a leader in digital finance and prelude to more ambitious efforts, including the creation of a state Bitcoin reserve. However, while Bitcoin Reserve is the goal, Demetrio did say that the bill intentionally focused on digital assets rather than just Bitcoin. He said that I don't think we want to pick winners and losers in our legislation, he said. The bill was about digital asset mining and the blockchain and establishing definitions in the Ohio Revised Code for blockchain, digital assets, and cryptocurrency. Now, instead, he said that HB 116 introduced in February is intended to protect digital asset owners from onerous compliance requirements, particularly for small transactions out there. So what was it, like $600 or less? You won't have to worry about capital gains tax. It was something like that. But this was a broader bill to get the wheels churning and allow this legislator and future ones to create common sense regulations around the industry, he said. Now, while it remains to be seen if HB 116 reaches the desk of Governor DeWine, Demetrio is optimistic about its chances of being approved and signed into law. Now, in Ohio, since the last General Assembly, when I began introducing crypto digital assets and Bitcoin legislation in the House, we've seen a real need for education and awareness about the importance of digital assets and the future of our economy, he said. I'm excited to see a number of my colleagues embrace that reality, and I hope to get it through the state Senate and onto the governor's desk to become law. So Yeah, so the education out there too. It's like, why do you think we opened up these crypto clubs? We're here to educate the population. These people who are slowly adopting it, they're getting it, but the education still needs to be there. But when they asked about the growing acceptance of cryptocurrency in the United States, Demetriou said that it's time for the government to align with the will of the people. Nearly 2 million Ohioans own digital assets. My point is, we need to follow their lead. They've shown us this isn't going anywhere, he said. These assets are going to be critical to the future of our economy, and millions of people across the world, the US, and here in Ohio own them. We need to accept that reality and follow the lead of our constituents. And added to Demetriou, he just said, the people have spoken, and that is so true. So fingers crossed this does go through. I want to see Ohio as the next state to have a Bitcoin reserve, or at least a reserve in digital assets out there. And again, when are we going to start hearing news about like the actual United States reserve, Bitcoin reserve, not just the individual states? I want to hear about our reserve strategy. Like, where has that been going? It's been a while. I know like we've probably been slowing down, waiting for all these states to get involved and having their reserve aligned first. And then we'll see the actual United States reserves take place. But I want to hear some news about that. So if you guys have heard anything, let me know in the comments. But who's in our comments right now? We got Sean Davis, Wolverine Peptides. What up, my brother? Guys, if you want to take a peptide shot, reach out to Sean. Like, this is how the Sherpa lost all this weight. So reach out to him. Now, let's continue on with the news, guys. What else is going on? Well, just have this as a mention because we're talking about state reserves and bills. Arizona, it did pass one bill already, a couple others, also vetoed a couple. But it looks like this bill, HB 2324, passes the House and now heads to Governor Hobbs for his signature. So we will see if she does do that. But the bill was passed by the House and just waits for that. Did this article talk about the different types of laws that she signed so far? Yeah, Governor Hobbs previously vetoed two bills out there right now, the SB 1373 and SB 1025, which sought to allow direct state investments in Bitcoin. The only reserve measure she approves to date right now is HB 2749, which created a more limited fund backed by unclaimed property. So she passed one out of the three bills. Hopefully we can go now for 2 for 2. So 2 bills passed, 2 bills not. But let's continue on with the news. What's next up? We got Donald Trump considers an executive order to prohibit crypto debanking. Now, there was an article after this that I kind of took away of, which was Jerome Powell saying, no, we don't care if the banks mine crypto. But honestly, we got 2 articles, and I'm seeing more debanking from banks still than just hearing Jerome Powell saying, no, we're cool with that. We're cool for the banks to do it. But no, so yeah, Donald Trump's considering this to happen. So crypto market participants are bracing for a wave of banking changes as Donald Trump considers executive order and the Fed changes its stances. So US President Donald Trump is reportedly considering an executive order that would limit the ability of financial institutions in the US to debank key sectors, and the crypto markets participants are watching closely as they anticipate potential benefits as the Federal Reserve clarifies its stance on crypto banking services. Now, Trump may issue an executive order on debanking. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, the Trump administration is exploring an executive order that would bar banks from refusing to provide financial services to certain industries. Now, the report notes that several conservative states have accused major banks of debanking industries for political rather than economic reasons. Now, the Wall Street Journal also reported that representatives from large U.S. banks have begun discussions with government officials to address allegations for the sector-specific debanking. Executives from J.P. Morgan's Chase, Wells Fargo, Citibank have reportedly met with officials in Texas and Oklahoma regarding the debanking of gun manufacturing and energy companies. And yeah, J.P. Morgan Chase, they definitely debanked the Sherpa because of my company, Crypto Sherpa LLC, which kind of dissolved right now. The Crypto Sherpa is still around, but no, like they closed down that bank, and it's like, ugh. So just because crypto's in the name. But in a parallel, several industries out there, including the crypto sector, are preparing for an executive order that would prevent U.S. banks from denying services to proposed order that could have far-reaching effects, potentially requiring financial institutions to provide banking services to crypto companies. The Wall Street reports that Trump's Domestic Policy Council, led by Vince Haley, is expected to draft the order. Now, just yesterday, the Federal Reserve eliminated reputational risk as a factor in the bank examination. This criterion had previously penalized banks for servicing certain industries, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation have also removed this clause from their respective regulation handbooks. So again, Jerome Powell said that banks can offer crypto banking services, but meanwhile, in recent congressional testimony, Federal Reserve Jerome Powell stated that banks can offer the services, and he also added that U.S.-based financial institutions may also engage in crypto-related activities, provided they comply with existing regulations. Now, banks get to decide who their customers are, and that's not our decision, said Powell. Banks are free to provide banking services to the crypto industry and crypto companies. Now, the Federal Reserve had previously taken what many saw as a hostile stance toward banks serving crypto firms, prompting the criticism. However, following the OCC and FDIC's more lenient positions, the Federal Reserve is now backtracking on its approach to crypto banking. Moreover, incoming legislation under the Donald Trump administration, such as the proposed Genius Act, reflects the broader efforts of positive crypto regulations. Now, also notably out there, Bank of America is developing a stable coin, and JP Morgan also has announced plans for the JPMD token on the Base network. Now, other US-based financial institutions also flashing plans to roll out a range of crypto-based services for clients. So times are changing. So that's why I want to kind of reserve the articles about this Trump talking about getting an executive order in there, because if it's not there, people can still do what they want. That's why I have all these laws coming in where it's okay for you to mine crypto at home. It's okay for you to self-custody. If we didn't have these rules in place, then somebody can go in there and go, oh, no, that's illegal. Let's not have that. So we need these rules and laws changed, and it is coming. Sorry, guys, I just need to take a sip of my coffee. It's still the afternoon. But that's our news on Donald Trump considering an executive order. Now let's move on to the banking giant Barclays and how this bank is stopping all credit card and debit card transactions for crypto. So let's talk about this right now. So according to a recent SEC filing, the bank is backing BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF with a $131 million investment. But British banking giant Barclays will stop processing crypto transactions on its credit cards starting Friday, June 27th. So that's happening this Friday, guys. 2 more days. But again, this is mainly if you're a UK resident. I don't think this really affects US people at all. But according to a notice published on its official website, the banking city's concerns over financial risks to customers, warning that falling crypto prices could lead to debt that people just can't repay. It also notes that crypto assets are not protected by the Financial Ombudsman Service of the Financial Service Compensation Scheme. Now, Barclays is joining other major lenders, including Lloyds, Virgin Money, JP Morgan, and Citigroup, in restricting crypto purchases on their credit cards. Now, the bank said it's reviewing its policy by country, and Barclays is a holder of Bitcoin ETFs in its latest SEC 13F filing. Now, the bank disclosed that it acquired 2,473,064 shares of the BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, valued at approximately $131 million by December. Now, so what I get from this little quick article is this: they're stopping the average person from acquiring Bitcoin. They have they're not officially in it because they invested in the ETF, which is not true exposure to Bitcoin. You're not actually holding on to it. You're trusting BlackRock, their holdings, and you're getting a valuation of that thing. But it's just they're interested in it, but they don't want their people to get into it. So it kind of makes me feel it's they're going, no, we're still we're still touching our toes, it's dipping our toes in the water. We're seeing how it is, and then we'll give you the okay. After, of course, we buy all of the Bitcoin, so you can't get it. So that's what I'm just trying to think is what this Barclays Bank is doing, because they've invested in the Bitcoin ETF. They just didn't invest in the Bitcoin, and now they're stopping people from buying actually Bitcoin. So, what are your thoughts on that? Let me know. And what up, Manny? Thank you for tuning into the show. But yeah, crazy news about banking giants blocking crypto card purchases. We got Donald Trump proposing an executive order to prohibit crypto banking, because why should the banks do this? And then we got great news about Bitcoin in Ohio, hopefully next Bitcoin reserve. But no, so I just wanted to bring this up about just the crypto credit cards purchasing. And there's kind of ways to get around this too. It's you're trying to make this purchase, say to Coinbase, Uphold, Binance, whatever crypto exchange you are, the bank's definitely going to stop it because they see those names and they go, oh, that's crypto. But maybe a way to work around it is make your Bitcoin purchases off of Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, any basically payment financial app service out there. Because when you're making a transaction on there, and if they sell Bitcoin, like those platforms did, if you're making like a purchase on there, all your bank's going to see is, let's use Cash App as an example. Like you put $1,000 into Cash App, then you use that to buy Bitcoin inside Cash App. All the bank sees is a Cash App transaction. They don't know it was crypto at all. So that might be a workaround. I did that with a couple of our members here at the club. So it's like we tried signing them up. It's like, Coinbase doesn't work. Uphold doesn't work. We call their bank. Oh, yeah, we don't like doing anything with crypto. It's like, okay, so that just told me can't deal with any exchanges out there. Let's try financial apps, and boom, we got them buying crypto off of Cash App. And then you guys can also, if you're a member of the club, you can also, depending on how much you want to buy, you can buy through our club. No KYC, the Know Your Customer, which is a great perk. Sure, maybe just a little bit higher fee than buying it off of Coinbase out there, but now you got some nice decentralized private Bitcoin that's going to be in your wallet. But that's enough ranting about that. Let's take a quick commercial ad. And yes, Manny, you're right. Fold up. Actually, with the fold up, I'm not sure if that would be a workaround with this situation, because fold relates to Bitcoin and the bank would see that, and then there'll be like a nope, don't want to do it. So yeah, so if the bank really wants to not have you like utilize their bank to buy crypto, you got to find workarounds that just don't have Bitcoin or crypto in as their main platform. And Fold is strictly just Bitcoin. We're earning Bitcoin with every single purchase we make on it. But like, again, so like to get little workarounds because your bank doesn't like you buying crypto, do it through a financial app or through our clubs. And that'll be the best way for your options. But let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be back with some more crypto news.
Want to connect with the world? Ready to be heard by millions? Have a talent you are ready to share, or want to elevate your business to the next level? Step into the spotlight. Welcome to our all-new podcast studio at Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, Sarasota. Introducing a cutting-edge creative space built for everyone, from first-timers to seasoned pros. Outfitted with state-of-the-art cameras, broadcast-quality microphones, professional mixers, and premium acoustic treatment, this is where your voice isn't just heard, it's felt. Whether you're recording a podcast, live streaming, or creating high-impact video content, our studio delivers next-level production value. Lights on, mic hot, let's go.
All right. Awesome commercial. Yeah, guys, if you're in the Sarasota area and you want to rent a professional podcast room, it's literally in that room right there. It's beyond this wall right here, that professionally made by our head AV guy here, Zoltan. Like, yeah, I forget what our pricing is on that. Definitely just call us. I believe it's like, if you're a member, I think it's really $60 for the hour for a podcast room. And yeah, we have everything set up. We got the cameras, we got the lights, we got the room, we got the sound off. So we got everything you need. So if you want to even just start your own podcast journey, it doesn't have to be crypto, but it could be anything. Like you want to start your show, like this could be like your opportunity to do it, because otherwise you got to buy a microphone, you need a camera, you need to pay for the streaming service, you need to get set up and everything. It's like we can help you out with all of that. So yeah, so definitely check out our podcast room and stop by our club if you haven't done so. Now let's move on to the news. What else is going on? We have looks like a Ledger deal. It looks like the hardware wallet Ledger has been popping up in the news a lot recently. We had yesterday with their new seed phrase recovery card, which I like it better than their first idea, which got tons of crypto scrutiny of like a third-party backup seed phrase option. So yeah, Ledger had this new card that came out to help you recover your seed phrase, but it looks like they also just made a deal with an NBA team. So let's go through this article. So this NBA team is the latest sign of crypto sports partnerships revival. And these are kind of telltale signs of a bull run coming. I know we've been waiting on altcoin season for quite some time. And it's like, I'm still hesitant on when that's going to happen. Is it going to happen when Bitcoin reaches 130,000? Then we start seeing some alts rise? Or do we just got to wait till next year? I don't know what's going to happen, but these articles are signs of like a nice like little altcoin rise. But the San Antonio Spurs, a basketball team, debuted their Ledger branded jersey at the NBA draft on Tuesday. Oh, so they got a new jersey with Ledger on it? But NBA basketball team, the San Antonio Spurs, has signed a sponsorship deal with Ledger. According to a Tuesday statement from the hardware wallet manufacturer, the latest sign that the crypto sports partnership are experiencing a resurgence under the multi-year agreement. The Spurs wear jerseys embolized with leisure-branded patches, and the Paris-based firm also plans to take an active role in boosting the Spurs' community engagement efforts in France, it said. Now, here are some photos of that. So, yeah, let's check that out. Got some leisure just encrypted right on their jersey. So, nice. Now, the deal forms part of Ledger's efforts to expand its reach in both the US and its home market. Ledger CEO Pascal Gauthier said Tuesday in a statement that the US is Ledger's top market globally and aligning ourselves with an historic US sports team, which boasts a deep French connection, past, present, and will help us onboard the next generation of sovereign individuals, Gauthier said. Now, although the Spur is a U.S. basketball team, its star center Victor Wemby, or Wembanyama, is from France. Now, crypto sports partnership so far. Leisure Spurs sponsorship comes amid a revival in partnerships between professional athletic teams and major crypto firms over the past year. Now, crypto companies spending on sports sponsorships recently increased 20% to $565 million in the 2024-2025 season on a year-over-year basis. Now, with football-related initiatives accounting for more than half of the new sponsorship deals, according to a recent report from sports marketing firm Sportquake. Now, among those deals, whether Tether purchase of a stake in Italian soccer team Juventus and trading platform Gate sponsorship of the Formula One team Red Bulls. Yes, Tether, the USDT stablecoin, they got stakes in that Italian soccer team. I saw that article pop up, but I decided just to share this NBA one with you. But we also have uniform branding deals like Ledger's partnership with the Spurs are a popular way for digital asset companies to sponsor athletic teams, accounting for 37% of all crypto sports partnerships, Sportquake data shows. Now, the recent increase in sports sponsorships marks a stunning reversal from the late 2022 when Web3 firms pulled back on or canceled their partnerships due to difficult crypto market conditions precipitated by FTX's collapse. Now, during that time, FTX's partnership with the MLB, Formula One, and NBA just crumbled, and that was definitely the bear market times of 2021 out there. But yeah, I remember all those partnerships that FTX had, like, FTX just came out of nowhere, but they were just making deals, partnerships, get this card going. And then once they had their scandal happen, then boom, everything just fell apart. And let's see, who else do we got in our chat right now? We got Synthetic. Most states that brought Bitcoin reserves up for a vote failed to pass them. Yeah, most of them have right now, but we still have a list of them that's still going through. Again, the Katie Hobbs from Arizona, we saw she vetoed 2 bills so far, but passed 1. Now she has another one coming her way. So that was this. So there, yeah, we have still 13 of the states out of the 50 officially vetoed them, but they're still going to come back around. But we have 3 official already: Arizona, Texas, and New Hampshire with a Bitcoin reserve bill or some form of it, and now Ohio potentially next. But they're all eventually going to fall down and come with it. But yeah, so that is our Ledger news. How do I want to bring that up about Ledger? Because they're a crypto wallet. I usually don't promote them at all. I don't like them. I usually use Trezor, Exodus. Exodus I do like a lot because, again, we know the team behind it. They're a closed niche team. They don't bring new people on board because, something like this could happen. Hold on, I had this article with it. Where was it? Yes, so because of this article right here, the Fuzzland says ex-employee was behind a 2 million Bedrock Uni BTC exploit. So yeah, so I was bringing up crypto wallets out there, so with the Ledger and everything, and how we know the team behind it. Like with Exodus, it's a close niche team. They don't bring on new people out there, and if no one's really left since the beginning of it, but so say you have a disgruntled employee who just leaves and they have all this access and data, they can really mess up. It's kind of like part of what happened with the Atomic Swap hacker out there. It wasn't it was somebody put an automatic update with malicious code in there. Whoever did the update had all their tokens drained because it was an internal employee. So be careful on the crypto wallets you choose. Definitely take a look at who the team is. Is the product open source or is it closed source? Usually closed is a little bit better. And just really do your research on it when choosing a wallet out there, because this is your crypto, this is your money, this is your assets. You definitely want to be safe. But let's hear about this exploit from the Fuzzland and what did he actually do? How did he do it? But it was a former employee who did it. But Fuzzland says that a former employee used insider access and malware to exploit Bedrock's Uni BTC protocol, resulting in $2 million in losses. So, smart contract and analytics platform Fuzzland disclosed that a former employee was responsible for a $2 million exploit that targeted Bedrock's Uni BTC protocol in September of 2024. Now, in a new transparency report, Fuzzland revealed that the insider used social engineering tactics, supply chain attacks, and advanced persistent threat techniques to steal sensitive data that enabled the attack. Now, the platform said that the attacker exploited the vulnerability in the Uni BTC after it was internally discussed as an emergency response call. Now, the company added that its ex-employee inserted a malicious code that created backdoors in engineering workstations and remained undetected for weeks. Now, the access allowed the attacker to receive sensitive information and act on the vulnerability first flagged in a DDoS report. Now, Fuzzland claimed that it had detected the vulnerability before the attack. However, it was deprioritized because of the false positive news. So they knew about it, but it was a false positive, and they probably could have saved that $2 million. But the summary of this was that they were disclosing more details about the security incident that resulted in the exploitation of the Bedrock protocol last year. Now, a former Fuzzland employee used insider access and deployed the advanced persistent. Now, this exploit was enabled by a combination of a breach of the TLP/the RED protocols by someone who accessed the intelligence about the vulnerability and identified in a DEDPOT report. Now, Fuzzland has compensated Bedrock for the $2 million. The smart contract security platform said that it had compensated for the damages and launched a joint investigation with security firm Zero Shadow. The company also filed reports with Chinese law enforcement and the FBI. It said that it was working with SEAL 911 and SlowMist to enhance industry-wide security standards. Now, while there was about $2 million in losses because of the incident, Fuzzland said that no client or customer data was affected by the breach. So, that's some good news there. Now, the company said that the incident was isolated to separate internal environments. Bedrock is a multi-asset liquid restaking protocol offering Uni BTC, Uni ETH, and Uni LOTX products. Now, these synthetic representations of major blockchain tokens allow users to earn yields through staking. Now, Bedrock confirmed that it had been exploited, which affected its Uni BTC product, and the attacker drained $2 million from its decentralized exchange protocol despite the hack. Now, Bedrock's total value locked grew from $240 million in September to $535 million in June 2025, according to DeFi Llama. Now, the hackers have stolen the $2.1 billion in Bitcoins in 2025, but I believe a lot of this was from that Bybit hack out there. That was the biggest crypto exchange out there. But hacks are always going to be going on. You just got to stay vigilant, at least keep your crypto in your own self-custody, and that's why you want to be sure you have a safe crypto wallet that you keep it on, a safe device you keep it on. At the Crypto Club, we also offer Calyx Solutions crypto-only laptops. So there's many ways where you guys to stay protected. Because when you're in the crypto space, you're responsible for everything now. You are your own bank. You got to be responsible for where you keep it. You got to be responsible for how you sell it, how you buy it, how you store it. You need a security behind it. You got to be responsible for everything on it. So it's a scary thing to do to some people because most people have just been relying on third parties their entire life. It's kind of reluctant, or it's really relieving when you finally start actually taking ownership of all your stuff again. So it's fun to do. People should just get on it, but be safe out there, guys. Just letting you know. Now let's move on to our next article. Let's bring up some good news, or ish good news. Not really Bitcoin space news, but looks like Chainlink and MasterCard are partnering to allow $3 billion cardholders to buy crypto. So this is good news and adoption news wise. It's like, yeah, we're getting more people the option to buy crypto and get involved. So the integration comes with help from several Web3 companies whose technologies offer a compliant user experience. So Chainlink, a company that provides a decentralized Oracle network, has partnered with payment provider MasterCard to allow the credit card company 3 billion cardholders to buy crypto on-chain. The integration could spur crypto adoption by providing a new avenue for people without Web3 exposure to gain experience with digital assets. Now, the integration is made possible through a series of partnerships with the Web3 entities, including Shift4 Payments, Swapper Finance, XSwap, and Zero Hash, which is a crypto and stablecoin infrastructure company that will provide the on-chain service and liquidity, enabling customers to convert fiat crypto to currency, or to convert fiat currency to crypto. That's it. Now, the current version of the application is available at Swapper Finance. It is a non-custodial and leverage account abstraction to provide users with simplicity and control. A Chainlink Lab spokesperson told Cointelegraph that it was important that this solution was built for everyone, not just for crypto natives or enthusiasts. Now, MasterCard has embraced crypto in 2024 and 2025, mostly through the issuance of cards that allow users to spend cryptocurrency at merchants in different countries. And in April, it announced its partnership with Kraken to launch crypto debit cards across the UK and Europe. It joined MetaMask to debut a self-custody crypto card in February, and the company said that it had tokenized 30% of its 2024 transactions. So MasterCard has been releasing a lot of cards out there for you to just help get you on board. And hey, that's kind of a little workaround too for this Barclays news article we had. Oh, you can't use their card anymore? Well, get a Chainlink MasterCard now and make those purchases. So Now, the MasterCard competitor also in crypto's fray. MasterCard's main competitor is Visa, and they have also been active on the crypto front. In October of 2024, it partnered with Coinbase to allow some of the exchange's users to instantly withdraw and deposit crypto. In addition, it has debuted a Web3 digital asset platform and invested in stablecoin payments platform BVNK. Now, buying crypto with fiat currency can be fraught with difficulties, especially for people unfamiliar with the technology. Now, this friction can hinder the adoption of cryptocurrency and the progress of the industry. However, people want to connect with digital asset systems. According to the Raj Damodarian, MasterCard's Executive Vice President for Blockchain and Digital Assets Project and Partnerships. Now, there's no doubt about it, people want to be able to easily connect to the digital asset ecosystem and vice versa. And also, this does give you a little bit easier option to get into the Web3 space, but if you're brand new to crypto, you should kind of stick away from the Web3 until you learn more. Just being honest, because there's so much information and knowledge in the crypto space, I just don't want you to fall for a scam, because usually the Web3 area and the DeFi, that's where the scammers live on, and they're hoping for someone to make a mistake. So if you're brand new to crypto and you want to use this card, I think you should just start off with having a crypto wallet that is self-custody. You have your seed phrase and private key. That's where you want to keep your crypto on, and just buy and hold Bitcoin for now. Just start off with that right there and just experience the volatility of the market. The price goes up, price goes down, and then that's always a great starting off point. But when it comes to Web3, it's going to take some time for you to learn all that, understand blockchain, smart contracts, crypto holdings, different chains, gas fees, different things you should know before you should dip your toes in there. But that's our Chainlink and MasterCard news. Let's move on to our final article, which is a tap to earn game, the biggest disappointment out there. Looks like we have users who wasted over a year just for $10 in a cryptocurrency token. So be careful with some of these play to earn games out there, because there are some games that were just literally just tap, 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 tap. I remember seeing some articles about this, and I was like, how much are they actually going to make? Looks like this one, we just found out $10. So crazy. So let's go through this article. This is our final one of the day, and learn a little bit about it. So tap to earn platforms have become quite popular in the crypto space. They promise effortless gains in exchanges for a few seconds of daily screen time. Now, capitalizing on this gamification of engagement trends, such as platforms attract millions with their allure of passive income, but as it turns out, not all that of them are just glitters and gold. Now, Bloom promises a new era in a gamified crypto project. Now, Bloom launched with big ambitions, built as a Telegram mini app. The platform promised to merge decentralized finance with casual gaming. Users could earn Bloom points, or BP, through just tapping and catching falling stars, completing tasks and inviting friends, all in anticipation of Major's token launch. Now, with the promise of token listings, exchange integration, and early adopter advantage, Bloom drew in millions of users. The platform boasted over 30 million users within months, and for many, it felt like getting in early. And the next Notcoin or Toncoin, but the optimism didn't last. Now, there were delays, repeated postponements, and shifting goals that just should have put up some red flags and probably should have stopped you from playing the game. Bloom's token generation event was initially expected in late 2024, then it was pushed to Q1 of 2025, then again in June. Each delay was wrapped in vague justifications, ecosystem preparation, sustainability, more utility, meaning users just kept on tapping, kept using their platform. Now, to make matters worse, Bloom introduced complex eligibility rules for the airdrop Users now needed at least 100,000 BP, 750 meme points, or proof of activity verification, 2 referrals. This wasn't what many had signed up for. People who had tapped every day for a year suddenly found themselves ineligible, and those who qualified were in for even bigger shock. Now, Bloom finally, is it Bloom or is it BLUM? Bloom? I'm just going to keep calling it Bloom. But Bloom finally holds TGE, the year-long grind for pocket change. Now, for thousands of users who loyally tapped away for 365 consecutive days, the long-awaited token generation event finally came, and it was nothing short of insulting. After an entire year of daily engagement, many users were stunned to learn that they were just being rewarded with a mere $10 of Bloom tokens, and as witnessed by the 3,000 plus comments to their big announcement. That was one of their posts. 10 tokens for a year investing? Also, what a joke. One token price of 1 BT? Not really. But at the current market cap rates, one Bloom costs around 0.0025 cents, and not even a penny. If you put that in Bitcoin terms, it costs you 2 sats per coin. But so the rewards are worth just a few cents less than pocket change for those expecting a meaningful airdrop, passive income stream, or even a chance of early stage token wealth. Now, this payout feels like a slap in the face. Now, when the airdrop finally arrived in June 2025, users' reactions range from confusion to rage instead of highly personalized token allocations based on effort. Most saw round numbers like 35, 1,000, or 7,000, raising suspicion of tiered buckets rather than merit based on the distributions. Now, one frustrated user summarized the sentiment in Telegram. Here's just an observation. If an airdrop is truly based on individual metrics, you expect more variance, like users 1 to 10,395, users 2, 135, user 3, 4,000. But what we're mostly seeing is that repeated clean numbers like 35, 1,000, 7,000. There's just no legit feel to it. It feels more like tiered buckets than fully personalized amounts. So, and 2 million accounts getting the same 35 blooms as the 100,000 bare minimum accounts, it also is cruel. So, many who have accumulated 100,000 BP and completed every requirement were given the amounts far below what they anticipated or felt that they had earned. So, what did go wrong with this? Well, they had a misaligned expectations. From day one, the platform marketed itself with phrases like earn effortlessly, get rewarded daily, and be a part of the next big crypto movement. While it never promised specific amounts, the psychological framing led users to assume that their time and consistency would result in significant rewards. And in reality, the rewards were disproportionately small, raising questions about the platform's intent and economic model. So straight from that, that's like, this could help aid you in research if you want to like look into a token or a project, like if they're very vague, like on certain expectations or like how they're rolling out, because the next step is like the tokenomics that never made sense. Like if this doesn't make sense, you should stay away from it. Just like, because otherwise you're taking a huge risk. Like if you're playing with just $20, go for it, because $20 can come and go. And if it doesn't mean anything for you, that $20, do it. But you should always just be very cautious, like not spending too much money on it or too much time or effort. But yeah, tokenomics was just a big issue too. Blunt supply was always vague. Little transparency was offered on how user activity would correlate with the token distribution. And by the time the tokens were distributed, the user base ballooned. There was also no real ecosystem and no real utility behind it. Aside from daily tapping, there was little else to do on the platform. No staking, no games, no marketplace, just hope that the future utility would come. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Now, the fallout came with broken trust. Now, so what's more damaging than the lost tokens is the loss of trust in people. Projects like this make it harder for genuine teams in the Web3 space to attract users. Skepticism rises, media backlash grow, and retail investors grow more wary, especially those who were burned after tapping daily for a year to what amounts to digital pennies. Now, there is a clear alternative, like the XYZ verse offers real structure and value. While Bloom has become a cautionary tale, the XYZ is emerging as one of the more promising projects out there. So let's hear about this. I really don't know about this project at all. So what is XYZ Verse? I've heard of them, but they're built on Polygon. XY Verse is the first also all sports meme coin targeting football fans, MMA followers, esports communities, and the global sports culture movement. But what sets it apart from the typical meme tokens is its clear roadmap, tokenomics, and growing utility. So it had a clearer path than, say, that last project did. So here's how they get it right. So this can help, again, aid you in just some research in a project you may be looking for. It has solid tokenomics. For every pre-sale stage completed, 1 billion tokens are burned, reducing the total supply by 70%. This controlled deflation is stark. So it's just very open. It's clear. It had real utility via partnerships. XYZverse had partnered with bookmaker.xyz, a blockchain sportsbook platform. Holders of real XYZ gain access to exclusive promotional betting offers promotion. So the token and project actually has partnerships going on with it. It's security and compliance. Smart contract is audited by Pessimistic, and the team has completed KYC with solid proof, signaling transparency and accountability. Its community presence with an active X account and Telegram channel. The team consistently updates community with pre-sales and milestones and products, and it has a future utility behind it. The roadmap includes gamified sports products, play-to-earn mechanics, and deeper integration with sports platforms. So again, when you're looking at a project out there, if you want to get involved, make sure there's tokenomics are good. It's got some solid partnerships out there that are actually real and working, and make sure the security and compliance are in effect. Check the community out there. How big is community? Are they actually talking in it and communicating with their team consistently? And is there a roadmap? Is there a future utility going on? So just some great tips right there on just doing it with and aiding your research and projects out there. Now, the community sentiment on XYZ, don't really need to go through that, but the final thoughts on all this, just don't tap, think. The failure of the bloom should serve as a wake-up call. Time is valuable, and platforms must offer more than slick slogans. While taps are earned sounded good on paper, in practice, it became one of the most underwhelming experiments in recent crypto memory. So, again, stay safe out there, guys. Like, don't waste your time on like this little thing, because it had a chance for potential, but there was signs that it really didn't have a future. So just be careful out there with projects you get involved with, especially with also banks too who don't like crypto. Just be careful with everything you do. But this is it, guys, for all the news I have for you. Let's take a look at our Fear and Greed Index. Bitcoin's back above 107,000. So we are making our way back up there. Same with our Fear and Greed Index. People are still neutral. We were at 33 over the weekend. People were just freaking out. But hey, I knew we were going to be coming back. Ethereum's eyeing $2,400 right now. XRP, $2.17. And in Solana, 143. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the news today. Hope you got informed, and just, I don't know what else you can get from this. Hope you maybe learn something from these helping in research and tokens, and just hope you can just stay safe out there. But everyone, have a fantastic day. I will see you again tomorrow with some more crypto news. Peace. And
in a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.